We all need friends. Lisa and I have spoken about that before, but sometimes they just aren't the right fit for you, and how to determine when that relationship becomes toxic and how to end those relationships as well. Joining us, of course, Lisa Brookman, psychotherapist and founder of Wise Women Canada. Welcome back to the show, Lisa.
Thank you for having me.
I mentioned it because last time we spoke, we were talking about the importance of having friends, but sometimes relationships become toxic. How do you know that relationship is toxic?
Well, when that friendship is not bringing you pleasure anymore, when it's a taxing relationship where you feel there's a lot of negativity, a lot of bad energy, you're not enjoying your time with that person, those are usually some red flags that we should start to look at when we're feeling potentially we might be in a toxic relationship.
Like you see their number on the phone and you don't want to answer it. That's not a good sign.
That's not a good sign,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so the first tip on how to end these toxic friendships is knowing your boundaries.
Exactly. Know what you're willing to accept in a friendship and what you're not willing to accept. And if there are some things that your friend is doing or saying or acting in a certain way that's starting to make you feel uncomfortable and starting to kind of impact your self-worth, your self-esteem, those are usually some boundaries that you set, and you're usually able to say, you know what, this doesn't feel good anymore.
And should you express that to your friend?
Absolutely. I really think it's important to be, completely authentic and transparent with our relationships. And if you are feeling that way, potentially there's maybe a possibility for change, so you can be open and honest with your friend and saying, I'm not feeling comfortable right now.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Perhaps there is a chance of salvaging that friendship. The next thing is carve out what you're looking for in a friendship.
I think in all relationships, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a marriage, a relationship at work, I think we should know what our expectations are of what we expect from that relationship. And the same is for friendships.
Yeah.
So
and what we can give as well, right?
Exactly. Know what to expect, know what you need for yourself, and know what your boundaries are and what you can give for yourself.
Right.
I think it's really important to identify that.
Okay. Now, the next point is really interesting. Move on and forgive.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Listen, if your friend or your toxic friend or your frenemy is not able to give you what you need, it's usually time to move on. And what I mean by moving on is distancing yourself from that friendship, either doing it cold turkey and
I was just going to say, do you do it gradually or do you just
You can do it cold turkey if that feels right to you, or you can do it gradually if you don't want to burn any bridges. But I really think, self-preservation and taking time to protect yourself is really important. So I say move on, but forgive and say, you know what, that's all that person is able to give me. It's not what I need. I'm not going to hold any bad feelings, but it just doesn't feel right for me.
Should you explain it, though, to that person before you end things?
I mean, you don't really owe them anything. If they've been treating you horribly for a certain amount of time, I believe that you can kind of take that time and say, you know what, this is what I need to do without explanation. Or you can give the explanation. But I think sticking to your guns and trusting your gut is really important. So if you even speak to that person and they're trying to convince you, if it feels right to move on, move on.
Yeah. The thing is though, I mentioned, I know I would feel like this. I would just have this feeling of guilt.
Yes.
Of doing that. So how do you get rid of that feeling of guilt?
I think it's by surrounding yourself with people that make you feel loved and make you feel cared for, and being open and honest with other people around you and letting them know how you're feeling so they can kind of, let you know that what you did is not such a terrible thing. And it's really about saying, you know what, I need to do something for me now. And I think it makes us not selfish, but actually empowered to do something like that.
And you're ending this toxic friendship, and it must feel good. You must feel liberated about it. But on the other hand, maybe you did have good memories with this person and it's difficult to do that. So is it normal to grieve after doing this?
Absolutely. Yeah. We expect that we're going to feel that black cloud lifted from us and we're going to feel amazing. And you might feel amazing, but you also might feel some sadness because this friendship did take up some of your time and your energy. And there were probably some attributes that you enjoyed about the relationship. So definitely take some time to grieve. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel lonely a little bit, but then again, bring yourself back and know what your expectations are in a friend and attract those positive people in your life. It feels 100 times better.
Yeah, and focus on the good friends that you do have in your life.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you so much, Lisa. You did write a blog post about this. Yes. Really good. If you want to check it out, wisewomancanada.com. The link is up on our show notes page as well, or will be a little later on today if you want to check that out. Thank you so much, Lisa. Stay tuned. More